What's going on, guys? Curtis here. In the recent couple weeks, I've had two credenzas that I'm building for two separate clients. It's been kind of a learning curve. I've never built cabinets before in my life. I've always done the woodworking thing. We've been in business for a while now. So I figured, why not? I made dining tables for these people. They asked for serving cabinets to match. So we're going to build those out for them. Should be finished up this week. We'll get them off to their house and they'll have a full set. All of that being said, I was tossing around ideas of how to construct these, and as I already have, I believe it's the Masca pocket hole jig, I assumed the best course of action is just to use pocket holes. These are going to get sprayed black, everything's going to get covered. You can see I used them already. This is sanded down flush. Okay, to put these in, so these are the plugs themselves. They're really nice. They fit perfectly into the holes. All pocket holes use a pocket hole drill bit. They're all the same size, so these are going to fit with any pocket hole drill bit. But yeah, they came out really nice. This is after I cut them off flush, right? And then, the glue kind of fills in your empty voids. You're still going to have to go back with a little bit of wood filler just to clean these up. But I'm telling you, for the money, for the time spent, this has got to be the quickest, easiest way to do it. If you're spraying it. You don't want to use this with a natural lacquer finish, or if the product is getting stained, you're obviously going to see these huge plugs. But when we're spraying, as long as you can't feel the void with your finger, it's going to cover with paint. That's kind of the general rule of thumb. If you can feel it, you're going to see it. So sand, fill until you can't feel it with your fingers. Let's sand this one down. We'll get some wood filler put in them, and then we'll get them off to spray after we do that final sanding. Forgot to shut the vacuum off. So you can see, that wood glue fills in a lot of the empty void. We're still going to hit it with some wood filler. I can still see some gaps that I can feel with touch. Let's get that taken care of, and then we'll get on to the other 7 cabinet doors here. Alright, we've got Minwax stainable wood filler. It says stainable. I don't trust that. I don't ever use wood filler on anything that's going to be stained. You need to get your gaps as tight as humanly possible, right? It's not zero clearance. It's not, machining. But do it right or don't do it at all, right? So let's get these plugs filled here, okay? You're just going to get some with your finger. You're going to rub it into the space, kind of hit it in all directions here. Make sure everything's filled, everything's, nice and neat, nice and flush. Set that one to the side. So the drawer front here. And as you can see, guys, I'm, just getting a small little amount here and using that to fill everything on this entire drawer front. These little containers, if you're clean with your work, this little container is going to last you months. Keep the lid on it, keep it in, somewhat of a climate controlled environment. I know a lot of you guys work out of garages that aren't climate controlled. It'll still keep in there. Try not to let that garage hit like 110 degrees with it sitting out there, or take it inside. It might dry up in the container on you. But it lasts forever, and I mean, you can get these containers super cheap at any big box store. Minwax makes awesome products. I've always used their stuff. There's the second one there, finished. Okay, we're gonna set those to the side, let those dry up, and continue sanding our other pieces. Now we're going to sand this down with 120 grit, get all of these flush, and get all of our holes filled. Alright, so we've got all of our holes filled. Let's go ahead and sand all these down, and we'll get ready to spray some paint. Alright, now we're going to finish all these off by hand sanding all of our edges just to break the edge a little bit. We're not giving it a full round over, but just to kind of break the edge, take care of any kind of splintering or anything that might occur. Let's get that done now. So you can see I'm just kind of hitting, every 90-degree edge that we've got here. Making sure everything's nice and smooth to the touch. We're moving along pretty quick. One thing that I like to hit is these little corners here. Okay? One thing you'll notice is a lot of cabinet companies, even the higher end ones, will leave these really sharp corners on here, And one thing that I found going back to clients' houses is that you can develop chips. Because you left that so sharp, there's nothing to break that edge. So the first time you hit it with something, if you're going to put a pan in a lower cabinet maybe and it nicks that edge, you're going to end up with a chip in it, whether in the paint or the actual wood itself. So I like to break these corners as well. Nice and smooth, nice and neat. Once you've been doing this for so long, guys, you can really, just kind of learn to trust the process. Know what grit you're using, know what wood you're working with, know how many strokes you need to take on that edge to break it to the point that you want, and keep them all consistent. You don't want, a slightly broken edge on this side, and then on the other side you've got almost an 1/8 inch round over. That's what you don't want. You want everything to be consistent, everything to be smooth. Until you get to know that while you're sanding, just go through and feel. You'll feel if there's any little sharp spots left that you need to go back and give some more attention to. Our last door here. I know this is everybody's favorite part, making projects, right? And I'm genuinely curious. A lot of guys say they do woodworking as kind of a therapy type thing. Let me know in the comments down below if you like the sanding process, if this is kind of your meditation, your quiet time. Put in some earbuds, some headphones, put on a podcast. Alright, that's it. Sanding's done. I've got 2 drawer fronts and 3 other cabinet doors that are waiting for me outside. Let's get everything set up and we're going to spray some paint. So now we're back in the shop. These have had a couple days to, really set up after we sprayed them and everything. I went ahead and installed the doors. I'm going to show you here. These are our pocket holes. As you can see, after we filled them and sprayed them with paint, you really can't see the pocket holes at all. The outside there. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to show you how nice these pocket hole plugs are. If you're doing any kind of work like this, you know, I've seen a lot of videos of guys that are taking dowel rods that are like 3 feet long and tapping them into the holes and having to cut them off and everything. It gets so much easier than that. Can't recommend these enough. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I've got plenty more coming. This is the first one out. I'm hoping to put a second video up next week. Just need to figure out what we're gonna make. All right, thanks for watching.